What's good? What's good? I'm back. Triple P, Paul Pickett Podcast. We live on TikTok and pre-recorded for YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Before we get started, want to shout out the Dizzle brand. I'm going to do a little experiment. Dizzle brand, just add ice. Do your Dizzle. DizzleBrand.com. Check them out. Got a bunch of recipes on there. Also follow my Instagram, Facebook. We got the Dizzle t-shirts, as you see. We got the hoodies. Nice, shiny hoodies, So, definitely check them out, DizzleBrand.com. Don't forget that this podcast is sponsored by Promo Palace LLC at promopalace.biz. You need online marketing promotions for your brand, your product, your music. Check out promopalace.biz. If you're a dog lover, you're an animal lover, you're a cat lover, animal rights activist, and you like t-shirts and hoodies as well, we got New Litter Apparel. Check us out, newlitter.com, New Litter Apparel. Before we get started, I got some of my Dizzle. I'm going to do a little experiment. I'm not much of a drinker, but I'm going to pour a little bit into my V8 Splash Berry Blend. Dizzle is agave tequila, cognac, and mango liquor mix and lemon. Put a little bit more. So yeah, check them out, DizzleBrand.com. Got a few topics. Don't forget the audio version of my podcast goes to Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Deezer, Odyssey, Castbox, TuneIn, Slacker, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and a dozen other platforms. You can Google Paul Pickett Podcast, PaulPickett, otherwise known as the Common Sense Podcast, your source for music, sports, politics, world events, but everything nowadays in sports and whatnot is political. So we get in a couple topics. We got Russell Wilson out for several weeks, and that's not bad. V8 Splash, Berry Blend, and my Dizzle. So we got Russell Wilson's out for several weeks. Seahawks are done. My cousin, I got family members out there at Tacoma, Seattle. Much love to y'all, but I hate to say it. Your team is done. They're done for the season. Let me hang this up over here on my mic stand. Get this out the way. So, Seattle is definitely done without Russell Wilson. Several weeks. I mean, they don't stand a chance. Stephon Gilmore was supposed to be released by the Patriots, but he ended up getting traded to the Panthers. My home state team, we just drafted Joe Horn's son, J.C. Horn, and Joe Horn went to one of my high schools, Douglasburg, here in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And his son is like one of the best defensive players that came out the draft this year. So he went to the Panthers, and Gilmore going there brings some veteran experience. So I think it's a good move. What else we got? We got Kyrie Irving still unvaccinated. Kyrie's going to have to give in, man. I mean, he's just going to have to retire. I mean, 98% of the league are vaccinated. It's not like America where it's 50-50, It's like 49-51 maybe, I think. I think it's like 49% are vaccinated, 51% are not vaccinated, or vice versa. But the league is like 98% vaccinated now, So pretty much Kyrie's going to have to give in or retire, man. Right now, he's just looking like a selfish dude because pretty much 98% of the people done gave in, Got something in my eye, I feel like. But, so I'm not going to stay on this Kyrie too much. But if he's talking about retiring, if you trade him, then he just needs to go ahead and retire. He's just being too selfish. I think even Kevin Durant is getting to the point where it's like, all right now, man, everybody else in the league is vaccinated but you. I mean, even Andrew Wiggins, It's a lot of money, man, to leave on the table, man, for these players. A real lot of money to leave on the table. So we got Kyrie Irving's unvaccinated still. Don't know how that's gonna go. Might as well retire. Um, Russell Wilson out for several weeks. They're done. Seahawks are done. Stephon Gilmore to the Panthers. Jaylen Brown gets COVID. Jaylen Brown gets COVID while vaccinated, and he has to quarantine. Isn't that the whole reason? What's the reason of getting vaccinated? That defeats the whole purpose of getting vaccinated. If you got to get quarantined still, why get vaccinated if they still gonna make you quarantine? That makes no sense. I thought the whole purpose of everybody getting vaccinated is so people don't have to quarantine, so people can get on with their lives. But even still, you can't get on with your lives. Because even if you get vaccinated and you get COVID like Jaylen Brown, they're going to make you quarantine still. Your job is probably going to make you quarantine because that's what's happening. His job is making quarantine. The league is making him quarantine even though he's vaccinated. Then why get vaccinated? You might as well, even if you're not vaccinated, you still got to get quarantined. It makes no sense. You ain't got no vaccination, you get COVID, you quarantine. You get vaccinated, you get COVID, you still got to quarantine? That makes no sense, man. It defeats the whole purpose, man. That's why people are still scratching their heads because Jaylen Brown's still getting COVID while he's vaccinated and he still got quarantined? That's retarded, man. That makes no sense whatsoever. Let me get to the hot topic of the NBA. Where's it at? 18 ex-NBA players charged in $4 million healthcare fraud scam. Some of the names in this are Terrence Williams. That's who they say it started with. I know I've seen Glenn Big Baby Davis, Tony Allen's wife, and some other players. Now, what it looks like from what I've gathered is this one guy, Terrence Williams, basically tries to defraud the league. And it works. So he basically gives other players the formula on how to do it. And basically, he tells them, I give you the formula how to do it, but I want a percentage, a kickback. So he's probably going to be the one that's going to really get all the time, all the punishment for this. Whatever it's going, I think the feds are involved now, so whatever this is going to lead to. But yeah, it's just basically one guy figured out, oh, this is how you can get over. Shows a bunch of other players how to do it, and they do the same thing, and he basically does it for kickbacks. That's almost kind of like some mafia thing, It's almost like something a mob guy would think of for kickbacks and stuff, But yeah, that's basically my take. Is it's pure greed. It's pure greed, and this V8 splash with Dizzle is pretty good. So it's pure greed. A lot of those guys, most of those guys made millions of dollars. Some didn't make as much as others, but Tony Allen made millions of dollars. Glenn Baby Davis, he made millions of dollars. It's just pure greed, man. And it's always going to be people trying to cheat the system and get over on the system if there's a way to get over on the system, But yeah, pure greed on that. Don't know how that goes down. As the new information comes out, I'll put it out on my podcast and whatnot. But I just think it's so crazy that Jaylen Brown literally got COVID with vaccination and still making him quarantine. Why get the vaccination in if you got to quarantine? That's what I think about having a quarantine with the vaccination. It's dumb. It's retarded. It's stupid. Why even get the vaccination if you got a quarantine still? All right, so we get into a couple world event political kind of topics. The mayor of Chicago Lori Lightfoot, she definitely runs the city. The moves she's making in the city and the things she's doing with a Lightfoot, definitely. Talk about threatens to sue gangs. I've heard of some dumb things in my life, but I don't know if Lori Lightfoot realizes this, but gangs don't settle things in court. Gangs settle things on the streets. And they settle it with violence, with guns, knives, AR-15s. They would settle it with rocket launchers. If they could get their hands on rocket launchers, trust me, gangs would settle it with rocket launchers. So Lori Lightfoot, it's like, it's got to be dumber than a bag of bricks. And what do you think that's going to, is that supposed to be a scare tactic? Like gangs are supposed to say, whoa, Lori Lightfoot's threatened to sue us. Them dudes ain't scared of jail time. And you talking about suing them. What are you going to sue them for? Dope money? You going to sue gangs for dope money that is not on the books, that there's no trace of? I mean, I just heard some dumb things in my life, but Lori Lightfoot, phew, this takes the cake. I mean, if that's your solution of solving the violence in Chicago, it ain't gonna work. It won't work. They might have to do the stop and frisk like New York, which they've never done in Chicago. I mean, that might be the only thing to really clean it up and get all those illegal automatic guns or illegal guns off of the streets, period. And even then, I don't know that's going to stop it. Chicago has been Chicago for a long time, man. Chicago's been one of the most, gang-infested, deadliest cities for a long time. But Lori Lightfoot, if she serves another term, I'd be shocked. I'd be amazed. And if she does this, then whoever, the people from Chicago that voted her in, I mean, they apparently don't care about fixing the city or whatever. They should be ashamed of themselves. Okay, my last topic of the day. So we calling soccer moms terrorists now? We calling soccer moms terrorists. You know what? Before I get into this, hit that click now, subscribe button in the right-hand corner. Hit that like, hit that share, hit the comment, good or bad. All engagement is good engagement. If you're following Instagram, hit the follow. If you follow me on Facebook, hit the like. If you're watching on TikTok, please hit the follow. We try to go live on TikTok 3 times a week as I pre-record these podcasts. Soccer moms, terrorists. Let's think about this one. I'm sipping my Dizzle with my V8 Splash. And I can't help but laugh at this one. Like, this is so funny to me. We're calling soccer moms terrorists. We try to get the FBI involved with school education, community school education board meetings that parents are upset because you're trying to mask their kids, which, speaking of Chicago, more kids died from gun violence in Chicago this year than all COVID deaths in the United States from kids. From kids. Not adults, but kids. More kids, that is fact, have died from gun violence in one city, Chicago, than all the cities and states have COVID deaths for kids combined. This shit is not a pandemic for kids. This shit is a pandemic for older folks, older people, unhealthy people, people with complications already. Nobody can help that people already have complications already. First of all. So this idea, y'all trying to mask kids up, is bogus. More kids are dying from gang killings in Chicago or like stray bullets from gang shootings in Chicago than all COVID kid deaths combined in the United States. So it's not a pandemic for kids. Let's get that out the way. Now, critical race theory. Well, critical race theory is not fact. First of all, it is opinion. I don't think no schools should be educating people on opinions. I could care less what opinions are. I only care about facts first. If you ain't bringing no facts to the table, I could care less about opinions. Opinions don't matter without facts. First, we bring facts to the table, then we can give opinions. Y'all got this stuff so ass backwards. Y'all want to educate people on opinions with no facts. And then critical race theory is definitely causes division. It's divisive. It divides people because, it says people like, my sister who's married to a Philippine guy. Like, it basically says that my brother-in-law who's Philippines, which I love very, very much, is the victim of my sister who has oppressed him because she has white skin. Man, my sister couldn't oppress nobody. Stop it, man. My sister couldn't oppress nobody. And it says that if my sister has kids with my brother-in-law, who I dearly love, who's Philippines, that their kids, they would teach their kids that their father was victimized by their mother who oppressed him. And that they're born to a victim and an oppressor. Well, guess what? There is no truth or no fact to that whatsoever. Because my sister is just a goofy, honest, well-educated human being. And her husband is pretty much the same thing. And both of them, this is their first real relationship, So, yeah, critical race theory is horseshit. It's bullshit. If people want to learn opinions in school, that's what college is for. So you could pay for an education. Pay $100,000, like Bill Morris said, to take your kid to Biloxi, to send your kid to Biloxi, Mississippi in 1942 because, 40% of colleges are segregated right now. And that's fact. 40% of colleges are segregated on, where people, for the living quarters are segregated, the graduation ceremonies are segregated, some of the programs are segregated, and they're like 42 to 46% segregated and then 70% segregated on election, on the ceremonies, the graduation ceremonies, So, yeah. But in elementary and high school, we don't need to be teaching kids no horseshit opinions that have no facts behind them. Like kids need to learn nothing but facts in elementary and high school. If people want to go learn non-facts, that's what the hell college is for. Go learn all these non-facts in college. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, soccer moms aren't terrorists. It's so pathetic that y'all trying to get law enforcement involved in because y'all trying to take away the First Amendment rights of people who wait hours to voice their opinions. Waiting hours to voice their opinions, of how they don't like the fact that you're trying to mask their kids and you're trying to force critical race theory on their kids, which is lies, 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 lies. There's no facts to it whatsoever, It really is. No facts to it whatsoever. And we shouldn't be teaching anything that has no facts to it in school. School should only be teaching facts, truth, things that are real, not make-believe fairy tales. That's what church is for. If you want to be taught make-believe fairy tales, go to church every Sunday, because that's what they're teaching you. Make-believe fairy tales. That's what church is for. School should never be like church. You know? School should never be like church. And you know what, man? Now that I think about it, this idea of a separation from church and state, they need to do away for that. Church ain't nothing but a scam. Preachers ain't nothing but crooks. Peddling false hope for tithes. I mean, I know churches that will blatantly tell people they didn't get caught up on their tithes and get kicked out. What? If I don't pay you money to hear lies, I'm gonna get kicked out? Stop it, man. You know. And that's coming from somebody whose sister is very religious and her husband's my sister's husband is very religious. You know. And we got the same political views and everything, you know. But soccer moms aren't terrorists. They're not domestic terrorists. Parents sitting there speaking and expressing their thoughts on how they disagree on what you're teaching their kids and expressing their First Amendment rights doesn't make them terrorists, but it makes you communist. That's all that's going on right now. They're pushing this communist agenda, this communist mandate from the left, trying to shut everybody up. They don't want us to have opinions. They don't want us to speak truth. Can't speak no facts because guess what? Your feelings might get hurt. You know, but you know what I think about when people's feelings get hurt over facts and truth? So what? Get over it. Deal with it. They're facts. It's truth. And it just goes to show that you live in a dishonest world where you think we're supposed to lie, tell lies, just so your feelings don't get hurt. We're supposed to tell lies so your feelings don't get hurt. And I'm going to tell you right now, that's not the Dizzle talking. That's not the Dizzle in the V8 Splash talking. I ain't telling lies to make you feel better. I'm going to speak the honest, not to God truth, because I don't believe in God. I'm not going to speak the honest to God truth. I'm going to speak the honest truth. No matter what. I'm not going to sit there and lie just to make your feelings feel better, man. I mean, if you get caught up in feelings over hearing truth and facts, then close your fucking ears. Plug your ears up. Don't listen, you know. And this world, like, y'all get so sensitive nowadays. And I'm about to get off this soccer moms thing. Because I done tore up my soccer moms anyways. Like, y'all trying to cancel Dave Chappelle or whatnot. Like, what happened to sticks and stones may break your bones, but names will never hurt you, man. Let's think about that one for a second while I take a sip. Also, hit that click now, subscribe button, hit that like, hit that share, hit that comment. Let's think about that. They're trying to cancel Dave Chappelle, because comedians can't tell jokes no more. Apparently, comedians can't tell jokes no more. Are you shitting me? The hell else are they supposed to do? They're comedians. You know, when I was coming up as a kid, Archie Bunker made racial jokes. You know, plenty of black people that watched the show and they laughed. Sanford and Son, The Good Times, George Jefferson made racial jokes. If I'm not mistaken, he called white people honkies. Laughed my ass off. You know, Like comedy, man, everything's open up is open game, man. Long as it's funny. Long as it's funny, everything's open game. But we're living in a sensitive world right now where you can't tell the truth because it can't tell the truth because it might hurt somebody's feelings. Who cares? That's what honest people are supposed to do. Honest people are supposed to tell the truth. They're supposed to be honest. Let the dishonest people be dishonest. And even the dishonest people don't give a rat's ass about your feelings. They don't give a rat's ass about making your feelings feel better. You know? So yeah, man. Y'all gotta get out of this little sensitive world. You know, sticks and stones may break your bones, but names can never hurt you, man. If words like make you upset, it's only because you make them upset. I mean, if somebody calls me a honky or cracker, so what? So what? If you're not threatening my life, you're not threatening my family, you know, you're not threatening my dog. What do I care? You call me all the names in the world, man. You know, I'm an artist, a musician. I mean, we've had to battle rap other people. They call you names all the time. You know, I don't really, you know. Hold on a second. Oh, hold on a second. I think I'm gonna cry. Yeah, psych. I don't cry over people calling me names. I might cry over a movie. Might cry over like 7 pounds Will Smith or Denzel Washington dies in glory and Matthew Broderick dies in glory and everybody dies in glory. I might cry over, you know, Denzel Washington. What is it? John Q. You know, but I'm not gonna cry when somebody calls me a name. They call me names. Whoopie do. But I care. Am I comfortable with my own skin? Yes. Am I happy with my life? Yes. Do I allow stress in my life? No. Do I get money every day? Yes. What do I care what name anybody calls me? I get money every day. I don't allow stress in my life. I'm comfortable with my own skin. I'm happy with my life. I've accomplished things that people in my own city have not accomplished. Accomplished things that my friends have not accomplished. You know, like my resume looks nice, looks really good. You know, what do I care? It's like when the customer hits you up and they're like, is this a scam or legit? Like, man, I instantly tell them to kick rocks. I mean, it's like, you know, what do I care? Once again, I want to thank y'all for tuning in. This is Triple P, Paul Pickett Podcast, aka the Common Sense Podcast. I do have to tell you my experiment with my V8 Splash Berry Blend and my Dizzle is good. It tastes good. This wasn't one of the recipes on DizzleBrand.com. Dizzle Brand, just add ice. Do your Dizzle. Don't forget, we got the hoodies, got the t-shirts, you know. So yeah, this is I'm gonna have to let my guys know from Dizzle that V8 Splash and Dizzle goes together pretty good. And I got a nice little buzz, you know, because this was the first run of the Dizzle. I think the second run is not as strong and it's got a little bit less mango, but it's agave, tequila, cognac, orange liquor, mango mix, and crisp lemon, you know. So I mixed it with this berry blend, and whew, I feel good right now. Once again, don't forget the audio version goes to Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Odyssey, Castbox, Deezer, TuneIn, Stitcher, iHeart, and a bunch more. You can Google the Paul Pickett Podcast. That's PaulPickett. It's the Paul Pickett Podcast, your source for music, sports, politics, sport events, and more, aka the Commons Podcast, aka Triple P. Once again, if you're on TikTok, I want to thank y'all for tuning in to my live TikTok stream. Hit that follow. If you're on Instagram, hit the follow. If you're on Facebook, hit the like. And YouTube, hit that subscribe. Peace, and I'm out.